I actually have a story for this game. The first time I saw Far Cry Primal is actually in my college class. My prof is an animator at Ubisoft and he put on a website with a countdown timer on the projector. Shout out to Michael, good job animating the dog sex in Watch Dogs 2. There was a picture of a cave painting, so everyone thought it was a new IP or something that takes place in the Stone Age. But to our surprise, it's a new Far Cry game. At least that's what I remember. It looked really interesting. Just thinking of the possibilities of what a Far Cry game set in the Stone Age can be like got my dick rock hard. Pun intended. But I never bought it until a few months back and finally played and finished it recently. Is it a good game? Is Unga Bunga Simulator the tits? Let's play. Far Cry Primal is a pretty game, just like its predecessors. It has the most nature we've seen in a Far Cry game, filled with colorful landscapes, vicious animals, and bad Unga Bunga people. As expected, the people in 10,000 BC live in huts made out of sticks and stones or dark caves. It's very atmospheric, very immersive, especially when you get pissed on. For some reason, looking at places from a distance gets very blurry and pixely. So that's kinda shit, but at least the game runs fine for the most part. The gameplay is still kinda the same as the previous games. Go to a place, whack some bitches, the end. There are no radio towers anymore, so thank fuck. Instead, there are bonfires that you can light to uncover dark areas. They're basically smaller outposts, so no climbing required. Just kill. The combat is mostly melee based since, you know, there are no guns back in the Stone Age. You'll be using clubs, spears, bigger clubs, and bows to do the killing in this one. The melee is kinda whack and jank. They feel really inaccurate to the point where I keep swinging a club like a lunatic, but the only thing getting hurt is my index finger. The spear feels much better, especially when you chuck them at enemies, turning their bodies into ragdolls. It's pretty satisfying. Even though clubs feel shitty to use, bonking Batman in the head with them is probably one of the best things I've felt playing a Far Cry game. Overall, the combat is janky, but you'll get used to it, and it gets better once you upgrade the weapons a few times. You have a village that you can expand in the game. Once you recruit more specialists, I guess you can call them, you can build homes for them, and you can unlock more skills and special items to use. To build and upgrade their homes, you have to collect materials. Gathering is a major part of the game because it's needed to upgrade almost everything, so grab everything you see and kill every motherfucking animal you see until your bag gets full. Every time you build or upgrade a hut, the residents do a little dance to commemorate the moment. I feel very appreciated. Thank you, Ubisoft. A new mechanic introduced is the ability to tame beasts. Get the right skills, throw some bait on the ground, wait for some to bite it, and hold the tame button. Now you have your very own trusty sidekick. They can be very useful, well, mostly at least. They're not too smart when it comes to combat, but you can ride them. Since there are no cars in the Stone Age, you have to ride beasts to get anywhere within a reasonable amount of time. I just wish they could have let you do it earlier. In the first few hours of the game, you have to run your ass to places, and that's boring. Also, you can pet your beasts. I have a pack of good boys. The boss fights are kinda shit. They're very gimmicky. One has you hit icicles to drop on the boss, but once you run out of them, you have to kill him the old-fashioned way, and he has so much health. You'll be running around like a chicken while Big Boy and his henchmen chase you around, and that can last for a while. I would have preferred a one-on-one battle. More personal that way, and it's better than running around taking cheap shots once in a while. There are legendary beast hunts you can do that lets you fight and tame strong beasts to help you in the game. You have to go to their area and find clues to track and hunt them, which is neat. Makes you feel like a hunter, you know? Makes you feel like Batman. Getting them down to a reasonable amount of health to tame them is just miserable. Just circle around them and stab them at the same time over and over again. And just like the boss fights, it takes an eternity. The story is okay. You play as Takar, the Beastmaster of the Dying Wenja tribe. After a hunt gone wrong, you escape to a cave to find Sayla, one of the last surviving members of the Wenja tribe. You defend her against a saber-toothed tiger and escape to her cave where you start to rebuild the tribe. No repopulation involved. Well, maybe later, but I wouldn't know that. Throughout the game, you'll be finding lost Wenja tribe members and recruit key members who will help you on your journey. Previous Far Cry games have psychopathic villains who keeps the game entertaining and fuck with you. But in Primal, there are instead two villains. Ul of the Udam tribe, who are these Neanderthal-looking cannibals, and Batari of the Izilla tribe, the ones with the blue body paint. They like to burn people. On the surface, they seem crazy, sure, but they don't really stand out because, well, everyone's crazy. Every key person you bring into the tribe has some sort of quirk to them. Sayla is a crazy chick who cuts the ears of Udam and hangs them in her hut to silence the screams. Tensei is a shaman who makes you drink drugged blood from an animal skull. He's a dumbass. They're very entertaining to watch during cutscenes. So the characters are fun and weird, but the story is nothing too special. It's basically Batman bad. Kill Batman before Batman kill me. Oonka boonka. Well, I guess that's the best they can do in this setting. There's no politics or anything we can relate to other than war and survival. And also petting good boys on the head. Far Cry Primal is a fun time, but only up to a point. The combat feels janky but can be very satisfying. The unique setting is fun to explore and be a part of. The story is okay, but the characters are fun to interact with. The problems that come with a Far Cry game are still here, like the overwhelming amount of side stuff to do and things can get very repetitive really quick. The only memorable thing I did is throwing spears at people and pet dogs, so that should say something. Come for the caveman fighting and dogs. Get this one on sale if you're curious. Alright, that's all for the video. I'm gonna keep going and finish the remaining 2 Far Cries in the next one. Hope Trumpland the game is more fun. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.